Folks, I'm going to teach you how to make a salad today that you're really going to like, especially if you're a fan of fresh tomatoes, basil, and fresh mozzarella cheese. So much flavor, so much nutrition. This is going to be a staple for you for the summer, I know it. Well, hey folks, we're down in my basement, and this is where I have a whole grow operation for growing vegetables indoors in the winter time and into the spring, because our growing season is really short up here in the mountains. So what I have going on is a hydroponic system, and I'm growing leafy greens and herbs, and it looks like a giant forest, and that's because I have a huge kale plant and a bunch of baby kale plants and then a huge forest of basil. So today I'm going to harvest the basil and we're going to work on our recipe. If you're interested in hydroponics, I'll put a link in the show description so you can look up some of the equipment that I'm using. But I've been pretty pleased with the results. It took a little while for it to get going, but now it's like I have endless basil. What I used was one of those hydroponic basil plants from the grocery store. And so that's all I did. I divided it up into about 6 different baby plants, and now I have a whole forest. So I got to use it up, and I got the perfect recipe to use it for. My gosh, look at this one. It's so huge. I got to cut the stalk down. My scissors aren't tough enough. Okay, I'll turn my grow light back on now. Woo! And I've got to carry my basil upstairs. I hope you guys were impressed with my basil collection. Holy smokes, I have enough to make a salad and then some. I'm actually going to show you another recipe. I've got a lot of basil left over, and I know one thing that's popular that people make with basil is pesto. And you do need quite a bit of pesto. You do need quite a bit of basil to make a good pesto, so I'm going to show you how to do that right after. But this is so fast, trust me, you can have this ready in 5 minutes. It's called tomato basil mozzarella salad. Really, you could use any kind of tomatoes. This would be great if you were growing tomatoes for the season and you had a plethora of tomatoes. Well, I kind of have a plethora of basil, but anyhow, what I'm using for tomatoes are an assortment of heirloom cherry tomatoes. So this is something that I got at Costco. You can tell by the big container. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting up all of these heirloom tomatoes. They're going to be delicious. I just really enjoy making these bite-sized. No one wants a big chunky tomato in the middle of their salad. At least I don't like it that way. These are going to go into the bowl. Very festive looking if you have a lot of variety of colors in your tomatoes. So the next step, I'm going to cut up the mozzarella. So what I'm using is fresh mozzarella. I'm going to cut up about 2 to 3 ounces. There's no pressure to have to really get your measurements right. So again, I'm cutting this up into small cubes. No one wants big, giant pieces in their salad. And then adding it to the bowl. So it looks like I've got double the tomatoes, so I'm going to add a little bit more cheese to it. Now for the basil. This is kind of fun. So I won't be using the stem, so I'm just going to pull off the leaves and put it onto my cutting board. Herbs are some of the healthiest plants you can consume. There's a lot of antioxidants in herbs, and especially basil. There's a lot of chopped basil, but I think the more basil the better. It really brings out a brightness in the salad, a lot of flavor, it adds the greenery. And we're almost ready. 2 more things I'm going to add. Salt to bring out flavor, and pepper, fresh cracked black pepper. A pink Himalayan sea salt. As far as amounts, I don't know, you can always add a little bit and add more later. So 1/4 teaspoon at the most, and then some generous black pepper grinding on top. And then you're ready to stir it up. Now at this stage, some people add olive oil to kind of bring it together a little bit more, or some people add a little bit of vinegar or like lemon juice. I don't really think it needs much, especially after the salt kind of combines. You get a lot of flavors come out. Some of the juice comes out of the tomato more. And there you go. Tomato basil mozzarella salad. Very good. It's a great alternative to your typical leafy green salads. It's a great side dish and something different. A lot of people just craving variety, and you're looking for that different combination. You're looking for that vegetable side that's not the same old broccoli or corn or green beans. And this gives you the best of a few different worlds. You get lycopenes from the tomato and those oranges and the reds, and then the phytochemicals from the basil, really potent, really concentrated plant chemicals that are healthy for you. And a little bit of protein that comes from the mozzarella, and a little bit of texture, and a little bit of salt and pepper for flavor. If it looks good to you, give me a thumbs up on the video. Let me know. Are you gonna try it? Yes or no? Put it in the comments. Yes or no? Is this one for you?